Welcome to TimeFrame Unveiled, where history's echoes shape our world today. Picture this: a war so seismic that its effects ripple through time. Over 150 years later, its battles over freedom and identity still define us. Today, we're diving into the lasting impacts of the Civil War, a journey through the enduring legacy of America's deadliest conflict. From racial tensions and the rise of the Ku Klux Klan to profound political and social changes and the military and cultural shifts that transformed a nation, we'll uncover how the Civil War continues to shape our lives. Hit that subscribe button and let's step into the aftermath of 1865, a time when America's future hung in the balance. Chapter 1. The war's immediate aftermath. The Civil War ended in 1865, leaving a nation in ruins. Over 620,000 lives were lost. The South cities and railroads were destroyed, and 4 million formerly enslaved people were free but vulnerable. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery, a monumental step, but freedom brought struggle. Reconstruction aimed to rebuild and integrate freed people, but Southern resistance was fierce. White supremacist groups like the Ku Klux Klan emerged, using terror to maintain racial control. In the 1866 Memphis riot, white mobs killed 46 black residents, showing how deep racial tensions ran. These early clashes set the stage for a century of conflict as the nation grappled with the meaning of freedom. Chapter 2. The Ku Klux Klan and racial tensions. The Ku Klux Klan, founded in 1865 in Tennessee, became a symbol of racial hatred. Klansmen, cloaked in white hoods, terrorized black voters and their allies, burning schools and lynching activists to enforce white supremacy. By 1870, their violence was so rampant that Congress passed the Enforcement Acts to curb it, but enforcement was weak. Southern Democrats regained power, enacting Jim Crow laws by the 1890s to enforce segregation. Separate schools, trains, and public spaces became the norm. The 1896 Plessy versus Ferguson ruling upheld separate but equal, legitimizing racial division for decades. Over 4,000 black Americans were lynched between 1877 and 1950, a brutal legacy of terror. Today, in 2025, this racism persists in systemic inequalities like the racial wealth gap and mass incarceration, showing the Civil War's unresolved racial wounds. Chapter 3. Political impact. Power and parties. The Civil War reshaped America's political landscape. The Union's victory ended the debate over secession, proving federal power trumped states' rights, a shift that defines our government today. The Reconstruction Amendments were groundbreaking. The 13th abolished slavery, the 14th granted citizenship and equal protection, and the 15th secured black male suffrage. Black leaders like Hiram Revels, the first black senator, rose to power, a historic milestone. But Reconstruction's end in 1877 let Southern Democrats disenfranchise black voters with poll taxes and literacy tests. The war also realigned political parties. Republicans became the party of Lincoln, while Democrats dominated the segregated South. These divides echo in today's red-blue split and ongoing battles over voting rights, a direct legacy of the Civil War era. Chapter 4. Social impact. Change and division socially. The Civil War was a turning point. The abolition of slavery let freed people build communities. By 1870, over 250,000 black students attended school, and black churches became centers of resistance. But sharecropping trapped many in poverty, and black codes restricted their rights. The war also advanced women's roles. Nurses like Clara Barton and activists like Elizabeth Cady Stanton fueled the suffrage movement. Yet the North-South divide deepened. The South's lost cause myth romanticized the Confederacy, perpetuating racism through monuments and literature like Gone with the Wind. This divide fuels modern debates over Confederate symbols, showing how the war's social scars linger in 2025, from cultural clashes to systemic inequities. Chapter 5. Military and cultural legacy. Militarily, the Civil War revolutionized warfare. It introduced trench warfare, ironclad ships, and railroads for troop movement, tactics that shaped World War I. The U.S. Army professionalized, and the war's scale proved America's might, setting its rise as a global power. Culturally, the war left a lasting mark. Walt Whitman's poetry and Matthew Brady's photography captured its brutality, shaping American art. Memorial Day began to honor the fallen, and the war lives on in films like Glory and reenactments. But its darkest legacy is racial, systemic inequalities. From education gaps to police violence, trace back to the 1860s, challenging us to confront the past as we build a better future. Closing, a legacy that shapes us. The lasting impacts of the Civil War show a nation forever changed, where the fight for freedom birthed progress and pain. From racial tensions to political shifts and military and cultural legacies, the Civil War's echoes remind us to face our history to forge a just future. Thanks for joining me on this journey with TimeFrame Unveiled. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We've got more history to uncover together. How do you see the Civil War's legacy today? Drop a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video on TimeFrame Unveiled.